Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and think, when did everything get harder? Maybe your knees creak a little louder, your balance feels a bit off, or just getting up and moving takes more effort than it used to. You're not alone in that. Aging can sometimes feel like your body is quietly changing the rules without telling you. But here's the thing, you still get to decide how the game is played. Just because we're getting older doesn't mean we have to give up control over our lives. In fact, this stage of life can be one of the most empowering if you choose to take charge of your self-care. Not the spa day kind of self-care, although those are lovely, but the everyday kind. The kind that keeps you sharp, mobile, independent, and feeling good in your own skin. That's the kind of self-care that really matters. And today, we're diving into 5 simple but powerful self-care rules that independent seniors live by. These are the things that help you stay strong, stay confident, and most importantly, stay in control of your own life. Let's start with something you might not expect. It's not exercise, it's not diet, it's your morning routine. The way you start your day has more power than most people realize. And for seniors who truly take charge of their independence, the morning isn't just a checklist of brushing teeth and taking pills. It's a moment of intention. That means starting your day on purpose, not rushed, not distracted, but grounded. What does that actually look like? Well, let me tell you about Jack. He's 78, lives on his own, and still does most things without help. But here's his secret. Every morning, before breakfast, before the news, he sits quietly with a cup of tea, looks out his window, and takes 5 deep breaths. He thinks about one thing he wants to do that day, big or small. Maybe it's watering the garden. Maybe it's calling his grandson. Maybe it's just remembering to stretch for 10 minutes. That small act of focus gives him a sense of control. And research backs this up. Seniors who set daily intentions and stick to routines tend to have better mental clarity and emotional resilience. You're not just reacting to the day, you're leading it. Now let's talk about something that often gets brushed under the rug, especially as we get older: staying socially connected. You'd be surprised how many strong, capable seniors actually start to lose their grip on independence, not because of physical weakness, but because of loneliness. It's a quiet kind of decline. It sneaks up in the background. One week you're skipping a phone call because you're tired, and before you know it, you haven't talked to anyone outside of appointments in a month. But the seniors who remain in control of their lives know this truth. Independence doesn't mean isolation. In fact, it's the opposite. When you have a few trusted people in your life, friends, neighbors, family, you're more likely to stay active, stay sharp, and stay safe. Having a social check-in, even just a chat during a daily walk or a regular phone call, gives you an anchor. It reminds you that you matter, that you're connected, and that your life is full, not just functional. Let me share a quick story here. Maria is 74 and still drives, cooks, and even volunteers part-time. She told me something once that stuck with me. I don't need help, but I do need people. That's powerful. You can live alone, take care of your bills, do your shopping, and still need connection. It's not weakness, it's human. So whether it's joining a community class, chatting with your barber, or just smiling at a neighbor, never underestimate what a little social contact does for your spirit and your sense of independence. Now, since we're talking about real self-care, we've got to touch on the body too. But again, not in the way you might expect. Let's talk about listening to your body, not pushing it. Because here's a trap many independent seniors fall into. They think staying active means doing what they did at 50 or 60. But your body is sending you new messages now, and ignoring them isn't strength, it's risk. True independence comes from working with your body, not against it. That means noticing when your joints are stiff and adjusting your routine. It means stretching before a walk instead of just lacing up and heading out the door. It means trading long-distance hikes for shorter, more frequent strolls that feel good, not painful. The strongest seniors are the ones who listen closely. They know when to rest, when to move, and when to adjust. They stay active intelligently, not stubbornly. Take Glenn, for example. He's 80, used to be a runner, but now he's switched to water aerobics. He says it gives him the same satisfaction without the knee pain. That's not giving up. That's adapting. That's smart self-care. Because here's the truth. You can't be independent if you're constantly recovering from injuries or exhaustion. Sustainable movement, done thoughtfully, is one of the best gifts you can give your future self. And let's not forget the little things, the basics. Hydration, nutrition, sleep. These are things we think we're doing okay. But are we really? I've met too many vibrant, active people who crash at 2 p.m. every day. And it's not age, it's dehydration. Or they're up all night and groggy all morning because their sleep routine is all over the place. These might seem small, but they add up. Just like a car runs better with regular oil changes, your body runs better when these simple things are in order. Start small, a glass of water before coffee, turning off screens an hour before bed, adding a few more greens to your plate. None of these need to be drastic, but when you take care of these basics consistently, your whole system runs smoother. You'll feel clearer, more energetic, and most of all, you'll feel in control. So let's recap what we've touched on so far. Setting daily intentions to lead your day with purpose, staying socially connected to keep your spirit strong, and listening to your body to stay active without pushing too far. Each of these habits might seem simple on the surface, but when you commit to them, they lay the foundation for lasting independence. Now, if you've ever caught yourself saying, "I used to be able to do that without thinking," you're in good company. And while there's no shame in adjusting the pace, one thing truly independent seniors do differently is this. They never stop learning. They challenge their minds every single day. See, there's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your brain is still working for you, not against you. And the good news is, mental sharpness isn't just about crossword puzzles and trivia nights. It's about engaging with the world in a way that keeps your curiosity alive. Let me introduce you to Shirley. She's 76 and just learned how to use a tablet last year. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to see pictures of her great-grandkids in real time. That simple choice led her down a road of discovery. Now she watches history documentaries on YouTube, sends emails, and even takes online art classes. And guess what? She says she feels more alive in the mind than she did 10 years ago. Here's what that tells us. Self-care isn't just about protecting what you already have. It's about growing. Learning a new recipe, picking up a hobby you never had time for before, trying out a new language or musical instrument. These aren't just pastimes. They're exercises for the brain. They light up your neurons. They keep your memory, your focus, and even your mood in check. You don't have to go back to school. You don't need to become a tech wizard. But when you feed your mind something new every day, even just a small fact, a new name, a different route on your walk, you're reminding yourself that age is not the limit of your ability. You're saying, "I'm still here. I'm still growing." And that mindset is a core part of maintaining independence. But here's where things get real, because even the most mentally sharp, socially connected, and physically active person isn't truly independent unless they're honest about their limits. And this might be the most powerful self-care rule of all, knowing when to ask for help and not seeing it as defeat. There's something deeply ingrained in us, especially for those of us who've spent a lifetime working, raising families, making decisions, that says, "I should be able to do this on my own." But here's a truth that many independent seniors have come to embrace. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Think about it. You wouldn't tell your 30-year-old child they're weak for hiring a plumber, or getting help with childcare, or going to therapy. So why do we judge ourselves for leaning on others when we need to? True independence isn't about doing everything alone. It's about making your own choices, including the choice to accept support when it keeps you safe, healthy, and happy. Whether that's hiring someone to mow the lawn, having groceries delivered, or using a cane to keep your balance on uneven sidewalks, it's not giving up. It's adapting smartly. It's staying in the driver's seat of your life. There's a beautiful kind of freedom that comes when you stop pretending you have to do it all. It opens up space for rest, for joy, for doing the things you actually want to do, instead of constantly managing the things you used to do. That's not decline. That's progress. That's maturity. And believe me, people notice. There's a quiet dignity in someone who moves through life with grace, who knows their limits, honors their needs, and keeps moving forward anyway. That's what we admire most, isn't it? Not how fast someone moves or how much they lift, but how gracefully they keep going. So if you've ever felt hesitant to ask a neighbor for a ride or to tell your doctor, "Hey, I'm having more trouble with stairs lately," know this: it's okay. More than okay, it's brave, it's responsible, it's a form of self-respect, and it's a sign that you're choosing to protect your independence rather than risking it through pride. There's something else that happens when you allow others to step in, even in small ways. It deepens your connection. It reminds people that you're human, and it gives them a chance to show up for you, just like you've probably shown up for others your whole life. That reciprocity, that's what keeps us bonded. That's what makes life rich. So if we circle back to what this all means, self-care isn't about pampering or pretending. It's about paying attention to your mind, your body, your energy, your needs, and yes, your limits. Because those limits aren't flaws, they're signals. They're telling you where to direct your care, your attention, and your wisdom. When you begin to respond to those signals with kindness and action, not frustration or fear, you change the story of aging. You stop chasing the version of you that existed 20 years ago and start supporting the powerful, capable, present version of you that exists right now. That's where real independence comes from. Not from doing everything, but from making wise choices every day in how you care for yourself. And let me tell you, the ripple effect of that kind of living is beautiful. You'll find yourself walking taller, speaking with more calm and clarity, and yes, smiling more often. Because when you feel good in your own body, when your mind is alive, and when you allow support to flow freely, you no longer live in fear of losing control. You realize you've had it all along. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss future videos. Your support means a lot and helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire. Now let's keep going. You know, when you start living that way, responding to what your body and mind need with intention instead of resistance, you start to feel a kind of ease return to your life. It's not about having every day be perfect or painless. It's about knowing you've set yourself up to move through your days with purpose and peace. And one of the most empowering choices independent seniors make, though it might surprise some people, is this: they protect their environment. Now, I don't mean just recycling or using less plastic, although those are great. I mean something a little closer to home. Literally. Your space, your home, your little corner of the world, it's where you spend most of your time. And whether you realize it or not, it has a big influence on how you feel. Independent seniors don't leave this to chance. They take control of their surroundings so their homes support their lifestyle, not slow it down. Let me paint you a picture. A cluttered living room with narrow walking paths, rugs that catch on your shoes, low lighting, stacks of paper on the counter. And that one step down into the garage that's always just a little too steep. If you've ever caught yourself saying, "I just have to be careful here," then your environment might be sending you signals. Now picture this, a home that feels calm and open, clear pathways, chairs you can easily get in and out of, labels where you need them, a favorite chair by the window where the sun hits just right. It's not about senior proofing, it's about you proofing, making the space fit the way you move, think, and live right now. You deserve a space that energizes you, not one that asks you to adjust constantly. That's not just comfort, it's control, it's safety, it's freedom. And let's not forget, it's also dignity. Being able to move confidently through your own home without second-guessing every step is a form of self-respect that often goes unnoticed until something goes wrong. And it's not only about safety, it's about joy. Independent seniors often surround themselves with things that bring meaning, photos that make them smile, cozy textures, calming colors, music they love. These are not random details. These are fuel for the soul. They're reminders of who you are and what matters to you. Don't underestimate the power of your environment to lift you up or weigh you down. So take a look around. Is your space helping you feel steady, comfortable, and inspired? Or are there little friction points that keep stealing your energy? This kind of check-in with your environment can be as simple as moving a chair or as big as rethinking how you use your kitchen. But every change you make, no matter how small, is a vote for your future self. And every time you make things a little easier, a little more beautiful, you give yourself one more reason to keep thriving. And now we arrive at one of the quietest, yet most powerful self-care rules of all. Independent seniors build routines that support them, then they stick to them. Routines often get a bad rap. People think they're boring, rigid, or for folks who can't think on their feet. But let me tell you, when your body starts to change, when your sleep is lighter, your energy less predictable, your appetite not what it used to be, routine becomes freedom. There's a rhythm to each day that helps your body know what to expect. That consistency, waking up around the same time, eating regular meals, stretching or walking at a familiar hour, it gives your nervous system a sense of calm. It takes away the stress of "what now?" and replaces it with "I've got this." You may have noticed on days when you follow your routine, things just flow better. You eat better, you sleep better, even your mood lifts. That's no accident. It's the result of doing small things consistently. And the beauty is, routines don't have to be complicated. They just have to be yours. Maybe it's a short walk after breakfast or journaling for 5 minutes before bed. Maybe it's calling a friend every Sunday or setting a timer to drink water every couple of hours. These little anchor points give your day structure and meaning. They remind you that you are the architect of your life, not just going along for the ride. And here's the secret. When your routine supports you, life becomes lighter. You don't waste energy wondering when you'll fit in movement, or forget if you took your medication, or go to bed feeling like the day slipped away. Instead, your days feel intentional. They feel yours. What's more, a strong routine can become your safety net when life throws curveballs, which it sometimes does. Illness, grief, unexpected stress, these things can knock us off balance, but having a routine already in place gives you something solid to hold on to, something familiar, something that keeps you grounded when everything else feels uncertain. And let me say this, having structure doesn't mean you can't be spontaneous. You can still follow what feels good in the moment, but that flexibility actually works better when it's built on a strong foundation. Independent seniors know this. They don't wait for the day to decide how they'll feel. They set the tone on purpose. All of this, staying mentally active, honoring your limits, creating a supportive environment, and building daily routines. It's not about perfection. It's not about clinging to youth. It's about owning your age in a way that feels strong, joyful, and free. You are not less because you're older. You are more experienced, more self-aware, more able to choose what matters most. And when you give yourself the care, space, and structure to live fully in this chapter of life, you don't just survive, you shine. You don't need to follow every new trend or keep up with what the younger crowd is doing. You just need to show up for yourself every day in small, steady ways, because when you do, you take control of your life in the most powerful way possible, from the inside out. So take a breath, look around, feel that sense of ownership over your body, your mind, your space, and your time. That's not luck. That's you. That's self-care. That's independence in its truest, most beautiful form. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one final self-care rule that independent seniors follow, and it's something we've touched on throughout this conversation. Nourishing the mind. Yes, it's just as important as caring for your body, your home, and your routine. And I believe it's the key to keeping your life vibrant, meaningful, and full of purpose. Now, you might be thinking, I'm getting older, so it's only natural if my mind starts to slow down a bit. And yes, there's a natural progression to life, but that doesn't mean you have to accept mental decline as inevitable. Instead, independent seniors understand that keeping their minds sharp and engaged is one of the most powerful forms of self-care they can practice. There's no single right way to do this, but one of the most effective ways to nourish your mind is through continuous learning. It doesn't matter whether it's picking up a new hobby, reading a book, learning a language, or trying out a new app on your phone. Engaging in new activities helps stimulate your brain and keep it healthy. The beauty of this rule is that it's fun and rewarding. Learning new things doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can be as simple as challenging yourself to remember a new word every day, trying out a new recipe, or even watching a documentary on a topic you've never explored before. But let's dig a little deeper. Have you ever noticed how invigorating it feels when you engage in something that stretches your mind? Maybe it's learning to paint, taking an online course, or even just tackling a challenging crossword puzzle. Each of these activities helps your brain create new connections, which keeps it agile and sharp. Now, don't be discouraged if some days you feel like your memory isn't as sharp as it used to be. That happens to everyone. But just as you'd exercise your body to stay strong, you need to exercise your mind as well. And the great thing is, you can make it enjoyable. Independent seniors take time to incorporate mental workouts into their daily lives. These workouts don't have to be formal or intense. They can be as simple as practicing mindfulness, spending time in nature and letting your mind wander, or having a thoughtful conversation with a friend. These moments help you stay mentally present, active, and in control of your thoughts. They also help you build emotional resilience, which is just as important as physical strength when it comes to living independently. But mental nourishment doesn't stop there. Staying connected with others is another vital part of maintaining a sharp and happy mind. Isolation can be one of the most detrimental things to mental health, especially as we age. That's why independent seniors make it a priority to stay socially engaged. Whether it's through family, friends, or community groups, meaningful social interactions keep our minds active and our spirits high. It doesn't matter if your social circle is big or small. What matters is the quality of the connections you maintain. A heart-to-heart conversation, sharing a laugh over coffee, or simply checking in on a friend, it all adds up. And this connection isn't just good for the heart, it's great for your brain too. Studies have shown that staying socially active can even help reduce the risk of cognitive decline and mental health challenges. Now here's the thing, socializing doesn't mean you have to be constantly out and about. It's about finding what works for you, whether that's attending a weekly book club, joining a fitness class, or even having a regular video chat with family members. What matters is staying connected and making the time for it. I want to take a moment to address something that often comes up when we talk about independence. This idea of doing everything alone. You may be an independent senior, but that doesn't mean you have to do it all on your own. There's strength in reaching out for support when you need it. Whether it's asking for help with something around the house, relying on technology to stay in touch, or simply leaning on a friend or family member for emotional support, it's okay to let others be part of your journey. In fact, one of the most empowering things you can do is ask for help when you need it. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. You're not alone in this. There's a whole community of people who want to support you, whether it's your loved ones, neighbors, or even professionals. And tapping into that support network is part of what makes you truly independent. It's knowing that you don't have to carry the burden by yourself. So as you embrace these 5 self-care rules, whether it's staying active, honoring your limits, creating a safe and supportive environment, building a routine, or nourishing your mind, remember that every step you take is a step toward living your best life. You are in control, and you have the power to shape each day, no matter your age. Living independently isn't about being invincible. It's about having the courage to live with intention, to make thoughtful choices that serve you, and to continuously find ways to thrive in this phase of life. Whether that's by simplifying your space, engaging in a mental workout, or simply asking for help when needed, it's all part of the beautiful, empowering journey of independence. So take a moment today to think about which of these self-care rules you could start implementing. What small change could you make today that will empower you tomorrow? Because at the end of the day, independent seniors don't just wait for life to happen. They take charge, they make choices, and they live their lives on their terms. Here's to living with strength, independence, and joy every single day. We'd really love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Let us know one thing you learned today and how you might apply it in your own life. Your insights mean a lot to us, and reading your thoughts always gives us a boost of energy and inspiration. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it too. Your support truly helps us keep going and create content that informs and uplifts. Thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.